Okay, so good morning, student. In previous period, we learn about Nainars and Alvars. Okay, and today we are going to learn about philosophy and bhakti. Shankara, one of the most influential philosophers of India, was born in Kerala in the 8th century. When? In the 8th century,
8th century.
Shankara, a very influential philosopher, was born in 8th century. He was an advocate of Advaita, Advait, or the doctrine of the oneness of the individual soul and the supreme God, which is the ultimate reality. So he was advocate of the doctrine of oneness of the God. He believed oneness of the God, okay, and oneness of the individual soul and the supreme God, which is the ultimate reality. He taught that Brahman, the only or ultimate reality. So Shankara, he taught that Brahman was only ultimate reality, was formless and without any attributes. So he taught to the people that only Brahmins are the reality, only reality. Okay, and he taught about Advaita, Advait.
सर पेज नंबर बताओ.
Page number 107. He considered the world around us to be an illusion or Maya. He said that all these words are Maya. Maya means illusion, and preached renunciation of the world and adoption of the path of knowledge to understand the true nature of Brahman and attain salvation. So he gave importance to only Brahman. He said that Brahmins are only a reality, and so that we have to give first preference to the Brahmins because Brahmins are very close to the God. Okay, and so that Shankara, he was a philosopher, he gave importance to the Brahmins. Okay, after that, Ramanuja. After Shankara, then Ramanuja, born in Tamil Nadu in the 11th century. Shankara, he was born in 8th century. Okay. After that, Ramanuja born in the Tamil Nadu in 11th century.
11th century.
Yes, and was deeply influenced by the Alvars, and he was the deeply influenced by the Alvars. And you know that who were the Alvars?
The people who worship Vishnu, Lord Vishnu.
Yes, okay, sons who worship Lord Vishnu, they were called Alvars. Okay, so Ramanujan, he was greatly influenced by the Alvars. Okay, and according to him, the best means of attaining salvation was through intense devotion to Vishnu. And he was
Sir, what is salvation?
influence of the he was deeply influenced by the Alvars, and Alvars were followers of Vishnu. So Ramanujan taught that if you want salvation, if you want moksha, then you have to be deeply devotion to the Vishnu. Okay? If you are devotee of Vishnu, then you will be definitely get salvation. Okay, so this was the
So
teaching.
devotion means?
Devotion, bhakti,
Devotion means?
bhakti.
Oh.
Okay, bhakti toward the Lord Vishnu. Okay, and so that you will be definitely get salvation. So this was the teaching of Ramanuja. Okay, so today we learn about two sons. Okay, two philosophers. First was the Shankara, and second was the Ramanuja. Okay, so please tell me what was the teaching of Shankara and what was the teaching of Ramanuja. Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes,
sir,
beta. हाँ.
the teaching of Ramanuja was that the best means of attaining salvation was through intense devotion to Vishnu. Vishnu, in his grace, helps the devotee to attain the bliss of the union with him. He propounded the doctrine of Vishwadvaita or qualified oneness in that soul, even when united with the Supreme God, remained distinct.
Okay, very good answer, beta. Correct answer. Okay. So Shankara, he gave importance to the Brahmins. Okay. And Ramanuja, he gave importance to the Alvars. Okay. Who were the devotee, means Bhakt, devotee of Vishnu. Okay. He said that you will be get salvation only intense devotion of Lord Vishnu. Okay. So these were the two differences between Shankara and Ramanuja. Okay, so these were the two differences. Then Baswana's Vaishnavas. Okay, there is also a new philosopher that was Baswana. Okay, so he propounded a doctrine of Visishtha Dvaita. Visishtha Dvaita. Or qualified oneness in that the soul, even when united with the Supreme God, remain distinct. Okay? He said that your soul will be remain distinct. Okay? Ramanuja's doctrine greatly inspired the new strand of bhakti which developed in North India subsequently. After that, Basavana's Veera Saivism, we noted earlier the connection between the Tamil Bhakti movement and temple worship. Okay, you know that in the Tamil Nadu, Tamil people, they always go to the temples. Okay, so there were very close connection to the Tamil Bhakti movement and temple worship. This in turn lead to a reaction that is the best represented in the Veera Shiva. That Veera Shiva movement initiated by Basavana and his companions like Allama, okay, Allama Prabhu and Akkamba Devi. So that Allama Prabhu and Akkamba Devi, so they spread his Basavana's movement. Which movement? Veera Shaiva movement. Okay. This movement began in Karnataka in the mid-12th century. When? Mid-12th century. In 8th century, Shankara was the philosopher. Okay. In 11th, there was Ramanuja was the philosopher. And in mid-12th century, there was Basavana, he was the philosopher. And his movement was Veerashaiva. The Veerashaiva argued strongly for the equality of all human beings and against Brahminical ideas about caste and the treatment of women. So Basavana's teaching was different from Shankara. In Shankara philosophy, he gave importance to the Brahmins. But Basavana, he opposed this inequality. Okay? And he spread equality in his teaching. And he gave importance to the woman also. Okay? He gave, and there was also no casteism. In Basavana's movement, there was also no casteism. Okay, so this was good movement. They were also against all forms of rituals and idol worship. Basavanna's movement. Okay, so they were criticized all these rituals, okay, and that idea of worship. Try and find out more about the ideas that Shankara or Ramanujan. So you have to read that passage and try and find out some more ideas about Ramanuja and Shankara. What are the difference between Ramanuja and Shankara and Basavanna? Okay, so you have to read that passage and find out that. Okay, this is your homework. Okay. After that, page number 108. Open your page number 108.
हाँ सर निकालो.
Okay. The saint of Maharashtra. You know that there are so many sant in Maharashtra like that. Sant Tukaram, Sant Mirabai, Sant Namdev, Sant Ramdas. Okay. Do you know some name of sant in Maharashtra? Which were the famous sant in Maharashtra? Which were the popular sant in Maharashtra? Who will tell me?
Sir, may I?
Ah,
Dhaneshwar, Namdev.
yes, Sant Dhaneshwar, Sant Namdev. Yes, beta.
Sant Eknath
Tukaram.
and Tukaram.
Yes, Sant Eknath, Sant Tukaram. Very good. Okay. So they were the sant of Maharashtra. Okay. Now we are learning about Maharashtra. Okay. In previous passage we learn about in South Indian sant. Okay. Ramanujan, Shankara, then Basavanna. So these were South Indian philosophers. Now we are learning about the sant of Maharashtra. Sant Dhaneshwar, Sant Tukaram, Sant Eknath. Okay? About that. From the 13th to the 17th century, from 13th to 17th century, Maharashtra saw a great number of sant poets who songs in simple Marathi, and that is continue to inspire people. So they compose their song in simple Marathi, okay, and so that it was inspired to the people, because common people, they knew Marathi language, and their songs, okay, their teaching, their religious teaching was in Marathi language, and so that people were influenced, okay, and they like these bhajans, okay, this religious song which was in Marathi. Okay. The most important among them were Gyaneshwar, Sant Gyaneshwar, Sant Namdev, Sant Eknath and Tukaram. Okay. And as well as women like Sakhubai, Sant Sakhubai and the family of Chokhamera, Sant Chokhamera. Okay, who belong to the untouchable Mahar caste, and Sant Chokhamera, Sant Mirabai. Okay, that Sant Chokhamera, he was belong to the Mahar caste. He was untouchable, but he was a famous son. Regional tradition of bhakti focus on the Vithala, okay, a form of Vishnu. And that is temple in Pandharpur. And all these sant, they pray for Vithala. Okay? And Vitthala's temple, it is in Pandharpur. Okay? Vithala, he was the form of Vishnu. Okay? In Budlapur, as well as on the notion of a personal God residing in the hearts of all people. And Vithala, okay, that Vitthal, Pandharpur, Vitthal, okay, and Vithal's temple, famous temple is in the Pandharpur. So Vitthal, he was the form of Lord Vishnu, so he was famous in Marathi people, okay. संत तुकाराम, संत ज्ञानेश्वर, संत एकनाथ, संत चोखामेळा, संत मीराबाई. Okay, they spread their religious teaching in Marathi, and their god was Vitthal. Okay, so those sant are poets. They rejected all forms of ritualism. So all these people, okay, all these sons, they rejected their ritualism. Is there? Okay. And only a display of piety and social differences based on birth. So they do not accept this thing. Okay, means there should be no social distances on the basis of birth, because birth, it is not our hand. Some people can birth in rich family, some people birth in a poor family, some people can birth in a upper caste, some people birth in lower caste. So birth, it is not our hand. Okay, and so that they rejected this, the importance on the birth system. Okay, so there were differences on the birth. You know that in South India there was a philosopher, Shankara. He gave importance on the birth. Okay, but in Maharashtra all these sants rejected this philosophy. In fact, they even rejected the idea of renunciation and preferred to live with their families. Okay, and they preferred to live with their families. Means if you intense devotion to the God, then no need to leave your family. Okay, you can live with your family. Okay, and you can pray with the God.
Sir,
Yes,
what is renunciation?
that sannyasi one, sannyasi. You have to leave your family and go to the forest. Okay, you have to live there. Sannyasi one. Okay.
Okay.
So there is no need to become a, like sannyasi. Okay. With your family, you can live with your family and you can pray for the God. Earning their livelihood like any other person, while humbly serving fellow humans being in need. So if you help to the common people, okay, so this is also service of God. A new humanist idea emerged as they insisted that bhakti and sharing others' pain. So they want to share others' pain.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, why the people think about to be a sannyasi and leave their family for the
Okay.
pray
Ah.
of God?
For praying of God, they go for sannyas.
Pray the God.
Okay. So you know that in South India, okay, they spread that if you want salvation, okay, so you have to be intense devotion of God, and for that you have to leave your family. Okay, because you have to love only for the God, not for your family. Okay, and so that you have to leave your family in search of God. So that was the different teaching. But in Maharashtrian Sant, they said that there is no need to leave your family. Okay? If you share others' pain, if you help to others, then you will be get salvation. Okay? You have to see God in a humanism. Okay? If you share others' pain, then also God will help you. So this was the different teaching from the South India. So in Maharashtra, there was the sons teaching on the basic of humanism. Okay. म्यूट क्यों नहीं बेटा? Okay. As the famous Gujarati sant Narsi Mehta said, they are Vaishnav who understand the pain of others. You know that famous bhajans, वैष्णव जनते तेने कहिए जो पीड़ पराई जानी रे, and it was very famous song, bhajans, okay, and which was liked by Mahatma Gandhi also. So Gujarati Sant Mehta, he said that they are Vaishnavas. Vaishnav means who followed Vishnu. So Vaishnava Janate Tene Kahiye जो जाने पीड़ पराई रे, okay, who feel pains of others, they are called Vaishnav. They are Vaishnav who understand the pain of others, or who understand, who feel the pain of others, they are called Vaishnav. So this was a famous bhajan which was composed by the Narsi Mehta, a Gujarati sant. Okay? And it was liked by Mahatma Gandhi. They always sing that bhajan. Vaishnava Janate Tene Kahiye Jo Pid Parai Jani Re. Okay, you know that also. Okay. Now this page number 110. Page number 110. Nath Panthis, Siddhas and Yogis.
भूषण इकडे जरा एक मिनिट.
What happened? Okay. Ishanvi Vakode.
Ishanvi code. She is not there, sir.
Okay. Ishanvi Vakode. Now you can join this. Okay. Okay. So now tell me, what was the teaching of Sant of Maharashtra? Yes, explain me the teaching of
Sir,
Maharashtra Sant.
sir,
Yes.
the
Sejal.
Maharashtra-
Yes, beta.
Sir, the Maharashtra songs teach us that there is no need to go anywhere to pray the God or to find the God. We can live with our family and pray to God. Sir, sir,
Yes.
the
Ah.
Maharashtra songs teach us that we did not have to go to a forest or anywhere to in the find found of God. We can live with our family, pray to God.
Yes, very good. Good answer. Then next topic is Nath Panthis, Siddhas
Sir, he
and
is not
Yogis. Open your page number 110.
110.
Yes, sir.
Yes. That Nath Panthis, Siddhas, okay, and Yogis. A number of religious groups that emerged during this period criticize the rituals and other aspects of conventional religion and the social order using simple logical arguments. So some sons they criticize that inequality discrimination, okay, which was in in their religion or in their religious teaching, okay, and so that they ask them simple questions, okay, that why you are discriminate people on the base of birth, why you are discriminating people on the base of their gender, okay. So they ask them simple questions, they criticize them. Among them were the Nath Panthis, Sant Eknath, all these, okay, Nath Panthis, then Siddhacharyas and Yogis. They advocate elections of the world. To them, the path to salvation lay in meditation on the formless ultimate reality and the realization of oneness with it. So they spread the teaching of meditation. They said that if you meditate yourself, that you can reach the God. You can meet the God. So they followed meditation. To achieve this, they advocate intense training of the mind and body through practice like yogasanas. So they said that how can you meditation? How can you meditation? So for that there should be intense training, not for your body but also your mind. Okay, and through yogasana. Okay, so there should be training for your mind and for your body. Okay, through yogasana, and so that they spread their religious teaching, and in that teaching they said that you have to do yogasana. Okay, for the meditation you have to do, and for your training of your soul, mind and body you have to do yogasanas, and then breathing exercise and meditation. So these were the three things. Okay, yogasana, breathing exercise and meditation. So they taught in their teaching that three things. First was meditation, yogasana and breathing exercise. Okay, so these are very important things. These groups became particularly popular among low caste. So in the low caste people, so this group, that Nath Siddhacharya, Nath Panthis, okay, and yogis, so these group became very popular in low caste people. Their criticism on conventional religion created the group for devotional religion to become a popular force in northern India. So they were famous in North India. Okay. Now you learn about the religious teaching in South India, then in Maharashtra, and these all these Nath Panthis, Siddhas and Yogis, these were in North India, means Uttar Pradesh, like that. Okay. Okay, so tomorrow we will see about Islam and Sufism. Okay. Today we learn about Hindu religion. Okay. In next period we will learn about Islam and Sufism.
Philosophy
Okay.
and bhakti.
Yes, in the philosophy and bhakti, it is about Hindu religion. Okay. So in next period, we will learn Islam and Sufism. Okay. It is for today. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, beta.
Bye, sir.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir. Bye, sir. Bye, sir. Bye, sir. Bye, sir. Bye, sir. Bye, sir. Bye, sir. Bye.